So I had to cancel my baby shower this past weekend because I was admitted to the hospital with threatened preterm labor. Um, I am 29 weeks pregnant with identical twin boys. Let's talk about it. So one thing that I feel like is overly fantasized on this app is the idea of having multiples. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a blessing. I'm grateful to be having two little boys. But I think something we don't talk about enough is that this is seriously a high-risk pregnancy. You have to take care of yourself in any pregnancy, but you have to take that extra step if you're going to be carrying multiples or if you end up carrying multiples. And things that a lot of people might be able to do fine in a singleton pregnancy, you probably can't do with having a little bit more babies. And I think that's something that I learned in this process. So I am a doctor. I'm currently a general surgery resident in the last year with some change of my training. Pretty high stakes job. I'm on my feet either rounding or in the operating room for basically 12-hour workdays and then have call on the weekends. Now, my job has accommodations where I don't have to do 24-hour call or overnight call in my third trimester, so that has been great. But at some point, my job, even with all the accommodations, is just too hard to be carrying a third trimester twin pregnancy. And I felt it this past week at work more than any other week. Like, I've been tired, I've been exhausted, I've been hard to walk. But I had a day this week where I just couldn't make it to my last case. I talked to the attending, he was fine with it. I had to go home early. And versus people being like, oh my gosh, what do you do? What are you having? All those things that I'm used to people saying. This past week, more people were like, hey, are you okay? Can I get you something? Do you need to sit down? How can I help? Like, I can see the concern in others from looking at me. And I could feel that I was like falling apart, very honestly. And I think my job did everything to be as accommodating as possible. But what ultimately happened this past Friday was just a culmination of I'm doing too much in this very high-risk pregnancy. So what happened was that I started having significant vaginal bleeding Friday evening. I didn't feel any pain, anything like that, but I've never had any bleeding since I've been pregnant. And I immediately panicked. I went to OB triage and they got both babies on the monitor. They both were looking okay, which gave me my first sign of relief. They tried to do a speculum exam and they said there was so much blood they couldn't even see my cervix. So they did a digital exam and decided that I was 1 centimeter dilated already. Also on the monitor with the babies was the tokometer, which tracks contractions, and they said I was having contractions every 2 to 5 minutes. I wasn't feeling anything, but that's what they said. They said you're having contractions every 2 to 5 minutes, babies look fine, and you're bleeding. These are all really scary signs that you're in preterm labor. And I'm 29 weeks pregnant, so that's fairly early. They would definitely, if not 100%, be going to the NICU, and they would be there for a long time if they get born this early. So I was just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. So they were like, we'll monitor you now because it's one of two ways. Either we're going to be delivering these babies in the next 12 to 24 hours, or we monitor these symptoms, things slow down, and you're able to go home, but on a very significantly modified schedule than you had before. And I just prayed so hard that I could keep them in, and I stopped bleeding. The contractions didn't get any tighter together, and they felt comfortable discharging me after 2 days because I had to get steroids in case they, to mature their lungs in case they come early. And they also gave me a magnesium drip as well, which is just some of the meds they give when they're concerned about preterm labor to help the babies progress a little bit more. So I got all those meds, my symptoms come down, I stopped bleeding, I got sent home, and they said, like, you need to go on a significantly modified schedule, very significantly modified schedule, or it's time to take leave. I talked to my boss about it. I said, maybe I can come in and I can round, do some morning cases. And he gave me the wake-up call that I needed. And he was just like, Jasmine, it is time to prioritize your health. You should probably start leave, and we will figure out the logistics later. And I'm just so used to pushing myself to show up at work, to do my hardest, there's so few Black women in the space that I work in, and I just worry about being judged and anything. And it's just, I really had to sit back and realize this isn't about any of that. This is about me and my babies and what's best for us right now. And I need to focus on them. There's no modified schedule that makes being a surgeon any less stress on this body. I need to stay home and rest, to give them the best chance to cook as long as they can. The risk that they come even sooner than we were expecting is more probable now with this event. And the only thing I can do is put as minimal stress on my body as possible. And this was that wake-up call. Stopping working when I've been working, studying something for my entire life since I got out of college, since I got out of high school, just college, into a job, into medical school, into residency, into research, back into residency. I'm always doing stuff, and it's just like I really have to stop and prioritize my health. That's what I learned in all this. That's what I've taken away from all this. And I'm ready to rest. I'm gonna go stir crazy, and maybe I'm gonna be on this app a lot more, and that will be my mental health, like, do something. But I am going to focus on my health, resting, and for once not focus on being Jasmine the surgeon, and focus on being Jasmine the mother of twin boys. And she needs to sit down. She needs to sit down. Let me know if y'all have any questions.